Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. In our last episode, we discussed about al-maqsur, and today we want to look at al-manqus. What is al-maqsur? As we discussed earlier in the link above, for those of us who have not watched that video, we said al-maqsur are nouns ending with alif, like al-fata, al-adha, al-asr. Now al-manqus are nouns ending with ya, like al-qadi, al-jani, al-munadi, al-muhami. These are nouns ending with ya. Before we continue to discuss fully about al-manqus, if you have not subscribed to our channel, hit right away on the subscription button to be part of this family. Now, what is al-manqus? Al-manqus are nouns ending with ya. And as we have always discussed, that nouns ending with huruful illa or verbs ending with huruful illa, which are the Sikh letters, always have specific rules because of the presence of this huruful illa. The harakat, that is fatha, kisra, sukun, dhamma, may not be seen clearly because of excuse from these letters. Now al-manqus, just as we discussed with al-maqsur, nouns ending with ya, the only harakat that you will see appearing on the end is fatha. This is because fatha is light. It can easily appear like al-muhamiya, al-munadiya, but dhamma and kisra, this will be difficult and heavy to pronounce. Because al-muhami, al-muhami, when you're talking, or al-muhami, it may be difficult to pronounce. So let's go further to discuss this. Let's take the word al-qadi, which means the judge. In the first sentence, I can say al-qadi adilun. The judge is adil, that is, he is just. The judge is just. In the second sentence, you will see ra'aytul qadiya, I saw the judge. And in the last sentence, you will see salamtu ala al-qadi, I greeted the judge. If you look at these three sentences, the judge appears grammatically in different positions. In the first sentence, the judge is coming in the nominative case because it is the mubtada. Therefore, it is supposed to be carried in dhamma. But when you look at the ending, you see that the ya is not carried in dhamma. This is because it is heavy to pronounce, to say al-qadiyu adilun. It will be difficult to pronounce. When you look at the second sentence, al-qadiya is coming as the in mansub in the accusative case because it is the maf'ulun bi here, the object of the sentence. Therefore, it is carrying fatha, and fatha is clearly written above it. This is because it is light to pronounce. So we said ra'aytul qadiya, I saw the judge. In the last sentence, you see salamtu al-qadi. Al-qadi here is supposed to be carrying kisra. This is because it is coming after a harf al-jar. We should put it in the genitive case carrying kisra. But because of the heaviness in pronunciation, the kisra is not there. In these cases, we can easily summarize by saying that the fatha, the nasbu case, the accusative case, will appear clearly with fatha. Meanwhile, the dhamma and the kisra will appear hiddenly on the ya. So if we are analyzing these sentences grammatically, the first sentence we simply say al-qadi mubtada marfu wa alamat marfu'un bi dhammatil muqaddara ala al-ya. That the al-qadi in the first sentence, it is a mubtada, a nominal noun, which is appearing with a hidden dhamma on the ya. Meanwhile, in the second sentence, where is ra'aytul qadiya, al-qadiya grammatically we say al-qadiya maf'ulun bihi mansub, object of the sentence in the accusative case, wa alamatu nasbihi al-fathatu dhahira, and the sign of this accusativeness is the fatha, which is apparent and clear, not hidden. In the last sentence, where we have salamtu ala al-qadi, you will see al-qadi majrurun bi ala. It is in the genitive case because of the ala wa alamatu jarrihi, and the sign of the genitiveness is al-kisratul muqaddara, the hidden kisra al-ya, which is on the ya. MashaAllah. Now we are still with our book An-Nahwu al-Wadih lil-Marhalat al-Ibtidaiyyah, and as you all know, we are now in the book 2. For those of us who have not been following our classes, you can go onto the playlist link placed above to work from the beginning so you can be with us. MashaAllah. Now we have the topic Al-Manqoos wa Ahwalu I'rabi. Al-Manqoos, as we have discussed earlier, and the signs, the conditions of its declension, how the Fatha, the Dhamma, and the Kisra will appear on it. And as usual, we have a lot of examples to better the understanding and for it to give us an insight of how to pronounce these words. The first example we have here is Farral Jani. On this side, the first column, we have Farral Jani, which means the criminal escaped or absconded. Number 2, we have Adal al-Qadi, the judge act justly. Number 3, we have Nada al-Munadi, the caller called, or the announcer announced. You can see Al-Jani, Al-Qadi, and Al-Munadi. The lastly, we have Yandamul Bagi, the transgressor is regretting. So all of these 4 words, Al-Jani, Al-Qadi, Al-Munadi, Al-Bagi, they all end with ya. Therefore, they are Manqoos nouns. The second column, we have Habastul Janiya, I imprisoned the criminal. So Al-Janiya here, it is also a Manqoos noun, but now the Fatha is there. Number 2, we have Nahtarimul Qadiya, we are according respect to the judge. Number 3, Sami'tul Munadiya, I had the announcer. Lastly, we have Yakrahun Nasul Bagiya, the people hate the transgressor, the oppressor. You can see all of the same words that we have on the first column, they are also appearing here, but in this case, they are appearing in the Maf'ulun Bihi case, carrying Fatha, and the Fatha is apparent. On the last column, we have Nazarutu ilal Jani, I looked at the criminal, ilal Jani. Number 2, we have Kumna Ijlalan lil Qadi, we stood up as a form of honor to the judge. And number 3, we have Asdaitu ilal Munadi, I listened, I was silently listening to the caller, to the announcer. And lastly, Alal Bagi Taduru Dawairu, the time will change, time will turn against the time is turning against the al-bagi, the oppressor or the transgressor. You can see how this sentence appear. Now let's move on to al-bahthu, so the scholars will explain this topic for us very well. He says al-kalimatu, the words al-jani, wal-qadi, wal-munadi, wal-bagi, all of these 4 words, kulluha asma'un mu'raba, all of them are declinable words. And we all know what declinable words are. If you don't know what declinable words are, click on the link above to watch. We have explained in deep what declinable words are. And in summary, declinable words are words whose ending will change from Fatha to Dhamma and to Kisra, or even to Sukun in terms of verbs. Now, وفي آخر كل منها ياء ثابتة مكسور ما قبلها, and at the end of these 4 words, Al-Qadi, Al-Jani, Al-Munadi, Al-Bagi, you will see that there is a stable ya on them. There is a ya there, and this ya appeared before Kisra, before a letter which has Kisra. هذه الأسماء وما شابهها بالأسماء تسمى بالأسماء المنقوصة. All of these 4 nouns that we have seen and the likes of these 4 nouns, they are called Asma'ul Manqusa. So when you hear Ismul Manqus or Asma'ul Manqusa, these are nouns ending with ya, and the ya appears after a letter with Kisra, like Al-Qadi, Al-Jani, Al-Muhami, Al-Bagi. MashaAllah. وإذا تأملنا هذه الأسماء وجدناها في الاسم الأول معروفة مرفوعة. And if we ponder over these nouns in the first column, you see that in the first column, all of these 4 nouns, they appear in the nominative case. They were supposed to be carrying Dhamma. لأن كل منها يقع فاعلا, because all of them in these sentences, they appear as the subject of the sentence, and as subject, they should carry Dhamma. وفي القسم الثاني منصوبة, and in the second column, you see that they all appear with Fatha. لأن كل منها يقع مفعولا به, because all of them appear as the object of the sentence. وفي القسم الثالث, and in the third column, مجرورة بحرف جر, you see that they all appear after a preposition which ordinarily should make them to carry Kisra. ولكننا لا نرى هنا من علامات الإعراب سوى الفتحة. But the signs of declension, which are Fatha, Kisra, Dhamma for the nouns, when we ponder over these words in the 3 columns, you will see that the only sign that appear in any of them is the Fatha sign. Then where are the Dhamma and the Kisra sign? التي هي علامة النصب, and this fatha is the sign of accusativeness. فما السبب في ظهور علامة النصب? What is the reason that make fatha to show? وحده alone, واختفاء علامتي الرفع والجر, and what is also the reason for the hide of which makes كسرة and ضمة to hide. السبب في ذلك أن آخر كل كلمة من هذه الكلمات يا. The only reason is that the end of each of these nouns is there is a ya at the end of them. والياء يخف ظهور الفتحة عليها, and ya, it is hard, it is easy and simple and light for fatha to appear above ya. ويثقل ظهور كل من الضمة والكسرة, and it is heavy that dhamma should appear above ya, and fatha and kisra should also appear above ya. ولذلك, and for this reason, تنصب هذه الأسماء ظاهرة بفتحة ظاهرة. These names, whenever they appear, these nouns, whenever they appear, their fatha, and they are appearing as in the accusative case, their fatha can easily be seen open. وترفع وتجر بضمة وكسرة مقدرتين على الياء. As for the fatha and the kisra, as for the dhamma and the kisra, they will always be hidden upon ya. Now we have seen how these nouns, how they appear with fatha only, and the dhamma and kisra are always hidden. Al-Qawaid, to move on to the Al-Qawaid, to the rule. The first rule says المنقوص. When you hear the word المنقوص, هو كل اسم معرب آخره ياء لازمة. It is every declinable noun which has at the end of it a stable ya, a non-detachable noun. Ya, maksur ma qablaha, which has a kisra after it, before it. Number two, we have تقدر الضمة والكسرة على آخر المنقوص. As for the dhamma and the kisra, they are usually hidden on in the end of the اسم المنقوص. في حالتي الرفع والجر, that is whenever the noun is supposed to be in nominative case or in genitive case. أما النصب, as for the accusative sign, فيكون بفتحة ظاهرة على الآخر. The fatha will still appear and it will be apparent, not hidden. Now we have small tamrinat to solve to better our understanding. And when you solve this by yourself, you see that all of these sentences, you can easily commit them to your brain and you use them whenever you want to speak. So, أين الأسماء المنقوصة في العبارات الآتية. The first thing I say is identify the manqus nouns found in the following statements. The first one says تكثر في الريف المراعي الخصبة. In the rural area, or al-mara'i al-khisba, fertile pastures are becoming more in the rural areas. So what is the manqus noun here? The manqus noun here is al-mara'i. Al-mara'i means pastures, or pastures or grassland, which is the plural form of mara'a. Number two, we have takthurul afa'i fi sa'id Misra. Snakes are becoming many in the plain of Misra, of Egypt. So al-afa'i is the manqus noun, and that is the plural form of af'a. Af'a means serpent or snake. Number three, we have birra'i tasluhu ra'iyya. It is with the shepherd that the hares become good. It's only with the shepherd that the hares become good. So ar-ra'i is the ismun manqus. Number four, we have yu'dharu sahi aw nasi idha akhta. The absent-minded one, or the one who forgets, is being excused when he makes a mistake. وَلَا أُذْرَ لِلْمُتَمَادِ فِي الذَّنْبِ. As for the one who perpetuates himself in sin, there will not be any excuse for him. So the first manqus noun here is asahi, the second one is anasi, and the last one is al-mutamadi. Moving to number five, we have al-ghaddu sami, the lofty goal min al-hayati, in life, and ta'isha sa'idan, is for you to live happily. The only lofty goal in life is for you to live happily. So asami is the manqus noun because it ends with ya. And lastly, we have la ya'manu al-insanu awadi az-zaman. A person is not safe from the ravages of life, from the destructions, from the unexpected dangers of life. So al-awadiya, it is the manqus noun. Tamrin Athani, exercise number 2. The instruction says, Da'il asma al-atiya. Place the following nouns fi jumalin mufidatin in a complete sentence بحيث يكون كل منها مرة فاعلة. Place each of them in a complete sentence, making sure that sometime each of them will appear in the nominative as the subject of the sentence, meaning it will carry dhamma, wa marratan maf'ulan bihi, and some other time they will appear in the accusative case as the object of the sentence, wa marratan majruran biharfi jarrin, and some other time they will appear with kisra in the genitive case. So the first word we have here is al-layali. What is al-layali? Al-layali means nights. So first one, to make it appear as the subject of the sentence, I can say ja'atil layali, the nights came. Number 2, to make it appear in the as the object of the sentence, I can say Sahiratul layali, I woke up throughout the nights. And lastly, I can say Qara'tu, I can say Marartu bil layali, I passed by the nights. Now, second word we have ad-da'i. To make it appear as the subject of the sentence, I can say ad-da'i, the preacher preach. Ad-da'i, the preacher preach. And the second one I can say salam, I can say ra'aytu da'iya, I saw the preacher. And lastly I can say marartu bid-da'i, I passed by the preacher. And we have al-musalli. The first one I can say adhan al-musalli, the musalli called to prayer, the one who prays called to prayer. Second, I can say salamtu ala al-musalli. Okay, to make it carry fatha in the object of the sentence, I can say ra'aytu al-musalliya, I saw the one who prays. And last, I can say salamtu ala al-musalli, I greeted the one who is praying. Al-ma'ali, I can say, to make it come as the subject of the sentence, I can say Swadafani al-ma'ali, Swadafani al-ma'ali, the apex, that is the apex goes met me. And second, I can say niltul ma'aliya, I achieved apex loftiness. And lastly, I can say foktu bil ma'ali, I achieved with loftiness. And lastly, we have al-mabani, which means buildings. So it is the plural form of al-mabna. The first one I can say I can say halak al-mabani, the buildings got destroyed. And second, I can say ra'aytu al-mabani, I saw the buildings. And lastly, marartu bil mabani, I passed by the buildings. Moving to exercise number 3, we have number 1, kawwin thalatha jumalin, form 3 sentences ismiyatin. In a nominal sentence, al-mubtada fi kulli minha ismun manqus, and this nominal noun in each of them should be a manqus noun. The first one I can say al-qadi qadimun, the qadi, the judge, is coming. The second one I can say al-jani jari'un, the criminal is hungry. And lastly, I can say al-munadi naimun, the announcer is sleeping. Number 2, we have kawwin thalatha jumalin, form 3 sentences fa'iliyatin, that is verbal sentences. Kull al-fa'ilu fi kulli minha ismun manqus, the subject in each of them should be a manqus noun. The first one I can say ja'al qadi, the qadi came. Second one I can say farral jani, the jani escaped, that is the criminal escaped. And lastly I can say nadal munadi, the caller called. Number 3, we have kawwin thalatha jumalin, form 3 sentences fi'liyatin, nominal verbal sentences, al-maf'ulu bihi fi kulli minha ismun manqus, the object of each of them should be a manqus noun. Now I can say ra'aytul janiya, I saw the criminal. Number 2, I can say ra'aytul munadi, I saw the announcer. Number 3, I can say sami'tul qadiya, I heard the judge. And lastly, we have kawwin thalatha jumalin, khabaru kana fi kulli minha ismun manqus. Each of them should have a khabaru kana, khabar of kana, in each of them should be in a manqus noun. The first one I can say kanal jani qadiyan, kanal jani qadiyan, that is the criminal was a judge, qadiyan. Can see. Next, I can say kana rajulu munadiyan, the man was an announcer. And lastly, I can say كان الإمام قاضيا. The Imam was a judge. Now moving to Tamrino Rabi, exercise number 4. The instruction says هاتي اسما منقوصا من كل فعل من الأفعال الآتية. Bring a manqus noun from the following verbs. ثم ضعه في جملة مفيدة. Then place it in a beneficial complete sentence. The first one is sa'a. Sa'a means to hasten, to work hard. I can say asari, that is the noun form of this verb. So asari, I can say, to place it in a sentence, I can say ja asari fil khair. The one who struggled in good came, asari. Now we can see shafa. Shafa means to he cured. Ashafi is the curer. I can say Allahu huwa shafi. Allah is the curer. Now next we have radiya. We can say radin, that is one who is pleased. I can say sar al-muttahamu radin, or sar al-muttahamu radiyan. The one who was accused became pleased. And lastly, we have hada, which means he guided. So al-hadi is the guide. We can say Allahu huwa al-hadi. Allah is the guide. It's the one who guides. Moving to the last exercise, Tamrinun fil i'rab, exercise on grammatical analysis. We have Namudha sample. The first one says ar-rajulul qasi makruhun. The hard-hearted man is hated. Ar-rajulu here is appearing as mubtada marfu'un bid-dumma. Al-qasi is coming as a na'tun marfu' bid-dummatin muqaddara al-ya. This is coming as the na'at, and na'at is supposed to carry the same case with the man'ut, which is ar-rajulu. But here, because the al-qasi is ending with ya, we say marfu'un bid-dummatin muqaddara. It is a nominative case with a hidden dumma al-ya. And lastly, we have makruhun. This is khabar mubtada marfu'un wa alamat raf'ihi ad-dumma. Moving to our own part, a'rib al-jumal al-atiya, analyze the following sentences. The first one says yas'ubu as-safaru fi as-sahari. It is traveling in the islands are difficult. So we have or in the desert, traveling in deserts are difficult. Sahari is the proper form of Sahara. So yas'ubu is fa'il mudari'un marfu'un bid-dumma. As-safaru is fa'ilun marfu'un bid-dumma. Then fi is harfu jarrin. As-sahari ismun majrurun bi fi wa alamatu jarrihi al-kisra al-muqaddara al-ya, because the kisra is hidden on ya. Number 2, we have tablugu at-tayyaratu al-makan al-qasi fi waqtin qasirin. The planes reach to a very high or long place in a very short time. So tablugu fi'l mudari, present verb marfu'un bid-dumma. At-tayyaratu is fa'ilun marfu' wal matrufihi ad-dammatu adh-dhahira. Al-makana maf'ulun bihi mansub. Then al-qasi na'tun mansubun bi fatha. Okay, al-makana mansubun bi fatha adh-dhahira. Fi harfu jarrin, waqtin majrurun bi fi, then qasirin na'tun majrur. Then lastly we have al-wadi khasibun. The valley is fertile. So al-wadi is mubtada marfu'un bi dammatin muqaddara, a mubtada nominal noun which is supposed to be carrying dhamma, but the dhamma is hidden on the ya. Khasibun khabarun mubtada marfu'un bi dammati dhahira. With this we come to the end of this lesson. Make sure you like, share with your friends, and participate in joining our membership to get members only perks. Subscribe to our channel for frequent updates. Until we meet again, bye.